What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is your review for Put a Ring on It season 2 episode. What episode we on? Episode 5. Okay. So we pick up where we left off with Lexi walking out of the session. And I call her Lexi like I know her. I don't know her, but I would like to know her. I think Lexi is a cool person. I feel like we could vibe a little bit, you know. Good. Okay. But she walks out of the session, and of course, Darian Smook, he goes after her. And again, I think Lexi summed it all up when she didn't eventually go back into the session. And when Dr. Nicole asked her about it, she said he doesn't get it. And I think that really just sums this whole thing up. He doesn't get it. But I don't think he doesn't get it. I think he absolutely gets it. I think he's playing games. And I think by the end of this episode, I think Lexi sees it too. But let's rewind. So when they're outside talking, and she's like, listen, I just need a minute. Like, you need to give me a minute. And he was like, why are you tripping? We need to go back in here. You need to do this. You need to do that. We need to do this. We need to do that. Like, I don't understand why you tripping. Why are you playing games? So they end up going back into the session. And Dr. Nicole is like, listen, Darian, do you understand how she could feel about the fact that you are going on a 4th date with a woman? He was like, yes, I can get it. She was like, okay. So then we're not dealing with comprehension. We're just dealing with feelings. We're dealing with how somebody feels about the situation, right? So, Lexi's going on a date with somebody new. Jessica's going on a date with somebody new. Darian and Sean are going on repeat dates. We got Kai, we have Brittany, and then Eric and LaRonda are not going on a date at all. And then Dr. Nicole is going to have a one-on-one with Eric and Jessica. Y'all got all of that? Okay, that's what's going on the episode. So on the way home, we see LaRonda and Sean talking. And for the first time, I think we see a little tinge of maybe a little bit of jealousy from LaRonda. But I can see where she's coming from, because she's like, listen, okay, you going on a 3rd date. Like, what's good? Like, do I need to pay attention to what's going on over here? So I think for the first time, we're kind of getting a little bit of that from Miss LaRonda. But I still don't think it's that deep. Like, don't get me wrong, I think she absolutely has feelings for him. So I definitely feel like it's like, wait a minute, you're going on a 3rd date with another woman, So we'll get to that. So we see Lexi and Smoke at the house, and he is coming to talk to her. And he's like, I'm going to apologize, but you also need to apologize to me. Houseway, what does she need to apologize to you about, sir? Please tell me. Like, if I'm missing something, if I'm not understanding something, please break that down for me. What in the world does she need to apologize to you for, sir? I'm confused today right now. And of course, that ends up turning into a whole argument, because once again, he is playing games and he is gaslighting. And he's like, you act like I'm going on dates with other women, with 5 or 6 other women. It's the same person. And she challenges me. And I'm just trying to, this is what's going to help us in the long run. This is what's going to help. And she was like, this is what you need to understand. You're playing games, and you might end up not getting the result that you want from me. And she tried to get him to understand that this isn't about Kai. This is about us. And it could be Kai, it could be Shelly, it could be Sue. It's about where I thought we were in this relationship. We are clearly not on the same page, right? So that was right before she was going on her date. Probably wasn't a good idea to piss her off before she could go on a date with another man, but whatever. So she ends up going on the date, and the guy, Monty, he takes her to play basketball, which of course they play basketball, and she ended up, beating up on him a little bit. We find out that he's divorced with a couple of kids. She asked him, she was like, are you open to having more children? And he said, absolutely. Now, they actually had a really good conversation. And, again, where she is right now with Smoke is just not a good mental space. So I think anybody with a halfway decent conversation, that didn't come in with no bull hockey, probably would have, got a good date out of her. But they had a good date. So then we see Miss Jessica, and she goes out on a date with Sean. Now they go to a tequila tasting because she likes tequila. Now listen, let me say this. Let me just go ahead and word to the wise. Fellas, it's all good and fine to try to find something that a woman likes. But if you can't hang, that probably ain't the thing for you to do. She was pulling them tequila shots back. Like, first of all, it's a tasting, ma'am. You're not supposed to be taking them as shots. It's just like wine. When you go to a wine tasting, you don't drink the whole damn glass of wine, and it's a tasting, okay? You sip it, you smell it, you feel it, you let it swirl around in your mouth. You don't do. She was taking them tequilas like they were shots, and he couldn't even hang. So that's the first thing, because that wasn't a good look that you couldn't hang, bruh. But again, they were talking. I don't mean no harm, and this gonna come off harsh. And Jessica, if you watch this, oh well. I don't think it take a lot to impress her. So she enjoyed the conversation. Again, I told y'all, I feel like Jessica is playing a game. I feel like this is all a game for Miss Jessica. And later on, when we learn more about Jessica and Eric's relationship, I got a little bit more to say, but I'm going to leave it there. But anyway, they seem to have a decent date. Again, at this point, the conversations pretty much are the same. Why are you single? Why y'all not together? What you doing here? What you here? Nobody is really like, I don't think, pissing anybody off, But it was a decent date. They had a good conversation. Then we see Mr. Sean go out with Miss Brittany. Now, Brittany had a show later on that night down to Florida. But she wanted to meet up with Sean, because it was important to her. Now, a couple of things with this particular situation. Number one, here we go with this putting pressure on these people to make a decision about something. Ma'am, this is your third date with a man that you already know is in a whole relationship. So you putting pressure on him to try to make a decision or try to decide whether he like you or not and would like to go out on another date, and do you see a future? Like, she legit asked him, well, do you see a future with us, or something to that effect. And I'm thinking to myself, I just feel like, again, I feel like some of this is coming from production to try to put pressure to turn this into more of a thing. But I just feel like that's a whole lot for you to come out and really put pressure. Again, let's just take this out of a relationship. You going on a third date with just any old body. Yes, you want to know, okay, we've been out on 3 days. Are you interested in me? I'm interested in you. Do you see it for me? I see it for you, kind of thing. But on the flip side of that, you don't put no pressure on trying to have no full-blown committed relationship. And I just feel like that's where we're going with this. And so, of course, Sean is like, I like her, but as he was leaving, he was like, well, no, he said that later on, I'm sorry. But he does like her, and later on, I'm going to say this because I might forget to say it later. Later on, when they were with Dr. Nicole, he said that he even thought about going to her show because he felt bad because she actually missed her bus to go out on this date with him. So he thought about driving down to Florida for her show. Now, I don't know what part of Florida, because again, that could be, Florida could be, an hour from Atlanta. Florida could be 8 hours. So it depends on what part of Florida. I don't feel like it was that deep into Florida. But still, and you see LaRonda's face when he said that was like, how sway? How sway? So then we have Kai and Smoke. I hope they paid Kai a lot of money, because Kai, this ain't a good look for you. Anybody that know you in your real life, this just is not a good look for you. I hope they paid you a good little piece of change, because basically you really was straight up pulling up on this man and basically trying to get him to go home with you and leave his wife. You was trying to pull a sunshine on him. Baby, I ain't never coming home no more. I mean, even to the point where, you're going to stand up and show him You know, all of this, and again, it wasn't a good look for me. I didn't like it. I didn't like I just don't like that. Like, first of all, this it's bad enough that we got people going on dates with other people, but that whole situation where she's trying to make him, you know make a decision, and I like you, and I could see me being with you. And what's funny is, the more and more she talked and the more pressure she tried to put on him, the less and less attractive I think he found her. Because see, now she's doing to him the same thing that Lexi is doing. The difference is the level of commitment, obviously. But you trying to make him make a decision. You trying to pin him down. You trying to make him make a commitment. And see, you were the fun girl. You were the good time girl. You were the I'm gonna hang out with you so I don't have to think about all of that stuff, girl. And see, now you turning into Lexi. And see, he's not that attracted to you anymore. Because see, now he gonna put you in that same category. So you push it. You gonna play yourself, Miss Kai. You gonna play yourself. But I'm fine with that because, like I said, I don't like none of that. No way. It ain't a good look. So Dr. Nicole meets up with Eric and Jessica, and we get some pretty good insight onto the situation with Miss Eric and with Eric and Jessica. Hold on. Before we get to Jessica and Eric, I almost forgot this part. Dr. Nicole had a one-on-one with Smoke, and I thought it was a really good conversation. I feel like it was a pretty enlightening conversation, because basically what he's saying is, she has such a tough exterior, and she acts like everything is okay, and it's all hunky-dory, and it's all cool beans, and it's no problem. And so he was like, I need to figure out a way to get through her. I get through all of that. I need her to be open and honest with me and be real with me. And so this is what I'm gonna say about that. And I feel like Dr. Nicole did a good job of helping him understand that that tough exterior is probably, protection against his bullshit. Now, she ain't say it that way, but I'm saying it that way. I feel like that armor, that toughness, probably built over time. You got 14 years of bullshit with y'all. Like, there's clearly been a lot of peaks and valleys in y'all relationship. The fact that you have 3 children by 2 different women in that time period that y'all have been off and on, right? And so I don't think that 14 years ago she probably had that big of a barrier, or that deep of a barrier. I feel like that barrier has built over time. And Dr. Nicole is saying to him, listen, you have to understand that she has to feel comfortable. You have to create an environment where she feels comfortable before she can open up to you, and so you can drive through that toughness, and drive through that, something. And he said, well, I'm verbal and I like to talk, but you don't communicate. See, talking and communicating are 2 different things, and I don't think people understand that. You can talk all day long. That doesn't make you a good communicator. For example, Smoke say he like to talk. You do like to talk, but you're not a good communicator. The fact that Lexi says, there are times when you'll call me at 2 a.m. and say you on your way home. Do you want something to eat? 8 o'clock roll around, you still ain't home. But in that 2 to 8 time period, you didn't feel like you needed to touch bases with her and say, hey, something happened down here at the studio. Something ran over. Hey, I fell asleep on the couch. My bad. I just woke up. I'm on my way home now. Like, people, and I'm gonna say men because I date men, so I know, I can speak from my experience in that. Men can make life so much easier with just a simple phone call or text. Hell, nowadays you ain't even got to call. You can just send a text. Make your life so much easier. And I think that people think because they like to talk that they're good communicators. Anyway, so he say he get it. I don't know if he does though. So then we have the one-on-one with Eric and Jessica. And again, great insight. What we find out here is, when Eric was struggling with his career, with his NFL career, he said he took his anger out. Well, Jessica said he took his anger out on her. And he said, and her response was to go jump on another man. Now, what we found out was she started dating another professional ball player. Somebody that has slid in her DMs. And that's how they said they met. Social media. So in Eric's mind, I'm sure what he thought was, oh, well, now that my career is stalled, you on to the next. Now, that's kind of what we had already said about Miss Jessica, but I ain't trying to say that about Miss Jessica, but I'm just saying. And then he said that they're still communicating on FaceTime. She gonna say he called me from a new number. I don't want to have nothing to do with him, ma'am. Just like I wouldn't give a man a pass for that bullshit, I can't give you a pass for that bullshit. First of all, most people don't even accept phone calls from phone numbers they don't know. How you accepting a FaceTime call from a phone number you don't know? Who does that? Who accepts a FaceTime call from a phone number they don't know? And even if I'm going to go down that road with you and it was absolutely him, you clearly spent time on the phone with him for Eric to feel some kind of way about the phone call. Because if you just answered the phone, saw it was him, and was like, oh, don't do that. Don't play them games. You know I don't want to talk to you. Click. Eric wouldn't have no issue. So you clearly had a conversation with this person who called you from a new number that you ain't know, and you FaceTiming him. Jessica, you playing games, and I at first I thought y'all were gonna be the couple that was gonna stay together after all of this is over with, but I don't know. I don't know if y'all gonna break up at the end of this process, but I don't really see y'all staying together too much longer because I just feel like you playing games. I feel like you playing games. Now, we get back to the group session, and we have Jessica talks about her date, yada yada yada. It was nice, it was cool. She wants to go out on a second date with him, playing games. Because I don't think you was all that into him. I think you just want to go out on a second date. Then we have Sean and his date. And like I already kind of told y'all some of what Sean said. But he said he does not want to go on a third date with Brittany. He said that, he does like Brittany. But all he could think about was LaRonda. Or, after he left his date with Brittany, the only thing on his mind was LaRonda. No, you talked about you was going to get your ass in your car and drive down to this girl's show because you felt bad that she missed a child. Boy, bye. Go. Sean, go sit down. And then we had Kai and Smoke. So when they asked about him wanting to go out on another date with, Lord, see, I done already said Kai and Smoke. Lexi and Smoke. When they talked about going out on another date, he said, I can't say what I really want to say because Lexi told me that I can't go out on another date with Kai or something. So Dr. Nicole was like, well, that's not fair to this process. Like Lexi, you can't tell him that he can't go out on another date. Lexi was like, I ain't tell him that. Smoke said, you absolutely did. And listen, y'all, I believe Smoke. I believe that when them cameras wasn't rolling, I believe Lexi told that man, do not go on another date with that woman. So Dr. Nicole said, listen, this is what we about to do. Because Kai decided, I keep saying Kai. Lexi decided that she wants to go out on another date with old boy. So Dr. Nicole said, Smoke, I'm not going to send you a new woman. I'm going to have you take Lexi out on a date. Y'all are going to have date night. Baby, Lexi said, I'm not interested in going on a date with him. Oh. So I feel like, in the immortal words of Babyface via Boys to Men, although we've come to the end of the road, I think we might be seeing the end of the road for Miss Kai and Smoke. If he don't do no serious two-step in the next couple of episodes, I'm not sure where we going with this one. But I ain't mad about it. And I keep saying, Kai, damn it, Lex. And I ain't mad about it. Y'all know how I feel about it. Anyway, y'all let me know. Drop it in those comments. Peace.